Welcome to Screen to Speed, powered by INIT Esports. In this podcast, we dive into the journeys of remarkable individuals making waves in sim racing and bridging the virtual with the real. From the thrill of digital circuits to the roar of real life racetracks, we explore the passion, dedication, and innovation that drives the world of motorsports. We'll hear from athletes, creators, and pioneers sharing their stories, insights, and the powerful ways sim racing is connecting communities and creating pathways into motorsports. So buckle up, Screen to Speed starts now.
Hi everyone, welcome to INIT Talks. Happy to see everybody here. Today we got Nina Hahn. She's a licensed racing driver, also racing steward for one of the biggest league in racing EVRA, and sim racing driver for Olympus Esports and also part of the Dream Team. Welcome, Nina.
Hello.
Happy to have you here. So can you tell me a bit more about the Dream Team? Let's start from this and what event you're planning to do in the future.
Yeah, sure. So the Dream Team is basically a team that was created out of the Screen to Speed movement, basically, where we had just the first event we did was the VCO Infinity, and for that we needed like a bit more of a fixed team that could do like bigger events together. And for the VCO Infinity, it was me, Ozeretskovskaya, for example, Yvonne as well, and Victoria Mello, and Sarah Dove. Did I miss anyone? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, and so we now have our newest edition, Esmeralda, as well. So we are planning to do the 24 Hours of Daytona in January together, probably as like a 4-driver team. We'll see, like probably LMP2 class, but we're not entirely set on that yet, but already looking forward to that race.
Yeah, Daytona will be one of the biggest events in racing, definitely. We're going to have a bunch of teams, a lot of drivers, and not a big fan of LMP2, to be honest, but if you enjoy that, I'll be happy to see you in Daytona 24. How is it for you to be the part of the Dream Team, and what's different in this team compared to other where you take a part also?
It's really cool because it's under the umbrella of the screen, or rather under INIT Esports. We had great connections to different companies and everything, also to people who were able to coach us and just give us very, very good insights so we can prepare very well for events. And also, obviously, having a great real-life driver like Ozeretskovskaya in the team is always a huge, number one, a huge honor. And also just, amazing to be driving with her. Also, I met her after our first race, then at the 24 Hours of Nordschleife, or of Nürburgring, I think is the official name. And that was very cool. So I'm really glad that I got asked to be on this team. And can't wait for the next race.
Yeah, wish you good luck for this race. Definitely will be a great event. I'm waiting for it also. I think I'm going to take a part in it with Olympus Esports, as I did 2 previous years. What was your brightest sim racing event which you did in the past?
Well, the biggest, or where I got biggest prize was the Screen to Speed Women's Day Invitational last year, where I won actually a sim rig from Sabelt, which is just an awesome prize. And there are many great races though. So for example, I think 2 weeks ago, I also did the 23 Hours of Zolder, Jimmy Broadbent's race for charity, where we raced, I think, over 100,000 pounds, which is insane.
Wow.
And it's crazy. And there are many great races. Obviously, the first 24 hours I did with Olympus, for example, was a great one. Also then where we won a Daytona 24-hour race in our split as well. And yeah, there are plenty of really, really cool races. And they are all special in their own way.
Yeah, understandable. I'm in the same way. So when someone asks me like, can you highlight the one event, I just can't do this because a lot of really cool races, a lot of nice events happen in sim racing all the time, and especially in iRacing. Can you tell me when did you start sim racing and how was it? How you get into this passion?
That's a bit tricky to answer because I was playing Need for Speed as a kid, you know, here and there, like Underground 2 and those kind of games. And after that, I didn't really drive much or wasn't really that interested in cars actively until probably like around 2016, where I got like a cheap wheel. It was like, I think, a Thrustmaster T150 or something. And I did Dirt Rally on that one because it seemed like a cool challenge to just race with like pace notes. And then I did that for a little bit. Also did like Project Cars or Assetto Corsa and stuff, but never really like as what you would call sim racing. And it only started in, I think, 2018, where I wanted to take it a bit more serious because I was part of the Formula student team of my university. And we always had a driver selection where the fastest two of our team would be able to drive the race car internationally against other universities. And I obviously wanted to do that. And that's where I also created my iRacing account and started practicing a bit. And then in the 2019 season, I was fast enough to qualify as one of the two main drivers for our team. And it's such an amazing experience that I'll never forget in my life.
Awesome. So can you tell me what equipment? So you already tell me that you had Thrustmaster T150, yeah? Can you tell me what you got now? And also will be great to know what was the biggest improvement in your equipment? Because, for example, for me, there was definitely load cell pedals. So when I switched from G27 pedals to TLCMs, I was like, wow, I can, consistently brake in and control the car in a better way. So for me, that was just game changer. What it was for you?
Yeah, definitely. I would also probably say it's load cell pedals. Or like a load cell brake, that's the most important one. And yeah, I at first when I got this load cell pedals, I didn't have a rig to mount them. So I had to practice pushing down with my heel on the base plate as to not like flip away the pedals when I brake harder. And that was quite difficult because at the time I was living in a student dorm and I had an old BMW, just a streetcar BMW seat, just on the floor, propped against like a thing so it wouldn't fall over, and then my pedals, and still the T150 mounted on the desk. And that's where I really understood how to brake properly and how to do it more with the muscle tensing up instead of the movement of your foot. And then obviously another great improvement, which is similar to that one, was when I got like a proper rig, like the one that's behind me here. And also with that, I had a used wheelbase. It's the one I still use. It's a CSL Elite from Fanatec. It's still belt driven, but that's definitely way better than the T150 I had back then. Also, it allowed me to just have different wheels. So I have a Formula wheel and a round wheel, depending on if I drive NASCAR or Formula stuff and everything. And for me, my rig, I always wanted to race in a Formula style rig. So that's why I have here. I always like laying down very much. And it's very comfy. And that's also what I just knew from the Formula student, those were like open wheel race cars and you're laying in the car completely. So that's the position I was the most comfortable in and still am. And yeah, that's probably the second like big improvement I had.
I think the rig is really important because driving position So you have to feel comfortable in your rig and to race for many hours. Sometimes we're having like really long endurance races, and such a stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you tell me, so you mentioned that you doing ovals, and I know that you're doing road races and racing. Can you tell me more about how is it to be in ovals? Is it a lot more different compared to road racing?
Yeah, like the type of driving is definitely quite different because it's very meditating after a while, in my opinion, and it requires a bit of a different skill set because you're always kind of on like the edge of grip, but if you're overstepping it, even if you're not losing the car, but you're overheating the tires way too much. So you have to really be very careful how you load the tires and everything. And yeah, it's just different, but I think overall that also makes you a better driver if you're able to drive multiple different types of racing. That's also one of the reasons why I then in iRacing went to get all my A licenses on every, like every class. So on oval, on road back then before the split, and then dirt oval and dirt road. I got A class in all of those. But also on the side, I did a bit of drifting in Assetto Corsa, for example, and every bit of different driving styles that you learn, I think, improves how you drive any other car.
Yeah, that's true. I think the ovals also give me a lot of different experience compared to road races. So you get opportunity to drive side by side with everybody for the whole race. Like you're not getting this in road races usually. It's a great experience, definitely. And when someone coming to my streams, I also recommend them like you have to try ovals. That's different experience. You're going to gain some different skills which going to help you in road races as well.
Yeah, very much. And also with oval, for me, I drive in VR, and especially on oval, that is a real, like, it helps so much because you can just quickly glance to your right or to your left and see if the car is still there, how far it is away and everything. And it being three-dimensional gives you like a very natural understanding of how much space you have. And to avoid crashes and everything. Also, if cars are spinning in front of you, it's, in my opinion, way easier to judge distances and how to avoid crashes and everything. So that's my preferred way to drive in VR.
Yeah, VR is awesome. Unfortunately, I didn't have opportunity to try it in racing. I tried long time ago in Assetto Corsa. That was in 2017 or something like this. But it was like, wow, you actually like sitting in a race car. It was a great feeling, definitely. So
yeah,
I think that if I will have opportunity in the future, I'll get VR just to try it. Because in my opinion, I think triple screen is great for long races, some endurances, and for streams, of course. But for different feelings, for like great emotions, I think VR is a cool thing to have.
Yeah, definitely. And I like the realism of it because I drive lots of open wheel stuff, so Formula cars, for example, and I just like using a minimal amount of overlays or anything. So I even turn the virtual mirror off a lot of the time and just drive with the in-car mirrors, which don't really work on like screens, in my opinion, but in VR, if you move your head, it also like changes what you see in the mirror, like in a real mirror. And that just, to me that's how I want to learn how to drive, because I have very, real expectations or goals in real life racing. And there you don't have a virtual mirror that just floats above your head. So you need to use the actual mirrors. And I want to just have that muscle memory and just being comfortable with driving with mirrors.
Yeah, that's great. Can you tell me what is your favorite combo right now in racing? I know that you in racing most of the time. Can you tell me your favorite oval combo and your favorite road combo as well?
Oval is difficult because I I don't have that many tracks, to be honest, but I always enjoy the short tracks, definitely. So also like in like the lower powered cars, so not really like the big NASCARs. They are fun as well, but especially something like the street stock or something is really, and those on short ovals is just where my biggest enjoyment in ovals comes from. And then on road, yeah, as I said, I drive mostly Formula cars, and there is just Road Atlanta, like F4 on Road Atlanta, or also Super Formula Lights. They're just great on that track. And then if you go to like sports car, I guess probably the LMP2 is one of my favorites. And then track is difficult because I want to say the Nordschleife, but that doesn't fit very well with the LMP2. So yeah, there are many great tracks. I mean, I like Daytona, obviously. I'm just trying to think of more. Yeah, I think probably still Road Atlanta. I love that track. It's a great track.
So you Road Atlanta girl, says I.
Yeah, definitely. I really, really want to drive on that track in real life at some point.
Yeah, me too. I think that's a great track with all the elevation changes, and it's hard to drive, and at the same time it's like, you know, roller coaster. It's so it gives you a lot of excitement when you drive in it. Even in simulator, it's so cool. And you know, when some crashes happen in Nessus, for example, you getting this fear, and you know, even in simulator, it's cool.
And even like. And that's also a track that is very rewarding if you get it right, in my opinion, especially something like turn 3 or something, where if you're doing it right, you can easily get like 2/10 or something. And then that's always, it's just so rewarding if you absolutely hit it and everything. And then,
Yeah, that's true. I absolutely agree with you. Let's return back a little bit to your past. So you mentioned that you did some formal student. I read that you did this project also in your like university. Can you tell me more about this?
So it's like a design competition, I think is the best translation, where university students build a race car every year and just race against other universities on tracks across, like we went to tracks in Europe, there's also tracks in Australia and the US and everything. And it's our car was, to give like some example, our car was less than 400 pounds, so less than 180 kilograms, but had over 80 horsepower. And that like with like a huge aero package, you had up to like 3 Gs during cornering, which was insane. It's really, really crazy to drive. And it's probably the craziest car I'll drive in my life. And you actually can see like here a picture of it. I can also get it closer if you want to see. To maybe I should do that. That gives you a bit more of a perspective of what those kind of cars look like, if you've never seen one before. So it's can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so these are insane. I was part of that team in the aerodynamics development, so I did a lot of CFD and also CAD to design and simulate all the aerodynamics on the car. And that's also a big passion of mine, like aerodynamics in general, especially like also in Formula One, when you always see like the little new things that they add and everything. That's really where my passion lies for those kind of cars. And then I obviously in 2019, as I said, I managed to be a driver for that team. So I was driving on the Hockenheimring, the Red Bull Ring in Austria, Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona in Spain. And I mean, not the full layout, like a shorter layout, but still it's so incredible to drive like on real racetracks in these kind of cars and against other universities, obviously. So that was a very, very cool experience.
That's great. Yeah, car looks awesome, and also with a lot of fire stuff. I love it. Can you tell me, was it your first ever experience in real life, or you did maybe some karting before or something like this?
Well, I did like rental karting like a few times, but not really that much. Mainly as a kid. And obviously, as a kid, I already really enjoyed it and told my parents, yeah, I want to do this more and here and there. But like, my parents just weren't able to afford that, which is, that's normal, I guess, because it can get expensive quite quickly. So I couldn't pursue it back then. And then I kind of forgot about it, as I said, until I was much older. And yeah, then like rental cars here and there. But that was the first time in an actual race car on like in an actual competition. And yeah, that's very much where my passion for driving race cars really took off, because obviously it was there before, that's why I practiced for it. But it's something like if you driven a race car once, then you always want to continue.
Yeah, that's true. It gives you great emotions and adrenaline and all this stuff. Yeah, it's so exciting.
I think you also drove like some real race cars at some point, right?
Yes, I did some karting. So I started from 9 years old, did professional karting, won 4 times championship of Kazakhstan, then moved to open wheelers. I did right now it's old school because I did Formula Bart. It's with a stick gearbox and
awesome.
It was 200 horsepower, 1.4 turbo engine. It was really cool. So this car actually between Formula 4 and Formula 3. So it's a little bit faster than Formula 4 with better aero and everything. This car was really fun to drive, and also I did some Formula BMW at Sepang. I'm still waiting when iRacing going to add this track, because I read somewhere that they planning to do this. Absolute amazing track. So yeah, that was great experience which I had, and also give me a lot of skills which I continue to improve in sim racing as well.
Yeah, that's also something that I noticed. Like if you felt what a real race car is doing in real life, it's definitely giving you skills that you can translate into sim, and the other way around as well. So it tells you kind of like what the tire does, and it just makes it, to me, easier to like drive right on the slip angle, because I kind of know what it felt like in real life. And yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Can you tell me, you did also some electric Formula 4. Tell me more about this event and how much time you spent in the car, and how is it to compare to the virtual one which we got in iRacing?
That was for a driver selection sponsored by Racing Pride for like a full season in that championship that was planned. It would have been a support series of the ETCR, which would have been a support series of Formula E, so it would have been even broadcast on television and everything. Sadly, that didn't, like, the series didn't end up happening. I also didn't get the seat, which is fair enough. There were other amazing drivers there, but it was electric Formula 4, so it was like a prototype on a Formula 4 chassis, but fully electric. And it was a day at Zolder. We spent the whole day there. I was in the car twice. I couldn't even say how many laps I did. And yeah, it was just overall amazing to be driving like a bigger race car. Like the Formula students, as I said, were great and everything, but they are also very short geared. So like the top speed was in 4th gear, like 140 or something, 150 maybe. But like the straights were also very short. And then being in a Formula 4 on like a full racetrack with like long straights and everything, it just gave you a not completely, but like a bit of a different racing experience, because you had more time on the straights to actually like breathe for a second. But it's also like one of my absolute highlights that I did in racing, because how cool is it to be driving a Formula 4 car, obviously, especially for someone who loves Formula cars, open wheel cars. And there, like the first stint I went out was kind of more like get comfortable with the car and the track and everything. And yeah, that was more like siding laps and just checking the car and everything. And then in the second stint, it was more like, okay, now go faster and like, try the car and everything. And that's when really the suspension started working. So you could actually, when you load the tires and everything, you can really feel the suspension like moving and everything. Because before that, it was quite stiff because you're going slow. But with a bit of speed, the car felt so natural and so great to drive. Obviously, it being electric, I had to adjust my throttle control a little because you have all the torque instantly if you push the pedal. So I spun once on throttle, but I wasn't the only one, so that's fine. It was a new experience for all of us. And yeah, I would have loved to drive that car more often. And who knows, maybe stuff develops in the future or something. But yeah, it was a great experience. And comparing it to iRacing, it's kind of similar but also different. Obviously, it not being electric on iRacing, but with the combustion engine, makes it a bit different how you can apply the throttle. Also because it, like the F4, for example, doesn't have that much power, so you don't have to be that gentle on the throttle. But the general physics of it is really good. It's really comparable to how it felt in the real car. And every time just driving F4 and Zolder is just bringing back memories, and it's just such a cool thing. And
yeah, that's great. I also I raced at Formula 4 in 2019. There was exactly the same chassis which we got in a racing, and noticed the same thing as you. So it's really close in our racing to what we got in real life. It's really cool actually to finally drive the car which you drove in real life, and then you got it in simulator. It's a great feeling. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, definitely. And also like the cars for the ERA championship back then, they were still based on the older one without the halo. So that was also a cool experience. And that's also where I learned that in Formula cars, the mirrors, you can't really see much in them. So you very much have to trust everyone around you, but also give the other cars space, which is something that oftentimes is, when people only drive the sim, I think they don't have that much of a feel for it, because they always expect you to have like your mirror set up or like a spotter or anything. But in real life, you don't have that always. And sometimes you just can't see much in your mirrors. And if you're leaving the pits, then, or if you're driving and someone else is leaving the pits, you just must expect them to not be able to see you, because that's how it is sometimes. But that's also like where I get a bit of a reflex to just avoid incidents in sim, because I just tend to give people a little bit more space, which then just doesn't create these like weird situations where it's inevitable that you get a contact. And I think that also has had a big impact, that I know how little you see. And also the kind of, I don't want to call it fear, but if you go into a corner really fast in real life, it's different than in sim, because you feel the G-forces and the speed, and it's something that the sim doesn't get across, which is fair enough, but it's something that makes it way more, you can appreciate real race car drivers way more if you know what these corners can feel like. And then seeing people in F1 or even other motorsports just absolutely sending it, it's so amazing to see.
As you mentioned about the view in the formal car, I just remember my first time in a test session in formulas. So I switched from karting, and in karting you're sitting outside, you can see everything, just like on the bike, for example. So when I first time get into the formal car, I was like, how I'm going to race the track, like I can see anything,
Yeah, you can see like the top of the tires, and then like to your left are like the big headrests, and you have a hands device, so you can't move your head forward, and you can only do this, and you don't see much else.
Yeah,
So
true.
yeah,
You know, that was a big shock for me. But then after some time, I just lab by lab started to get used to that, and it just
yeah.
more natural. And then you like kind of feel the car as a part of you, and you can keep the distance to other cars, and yeah, do all the stuff. Can you tell me, are you more like fuel head person, or are you enjoy that we got more electric cars and racing as well, and on the streets also?
Well, it's a cool technology, definitely. And also, I'm a mechanic, in real life as a job. So I work on both. And they're just different. They both have their pros and cons. Obviously, like sound and emotion is more in combustion engines. But also with the very modern combustion engines, they're like running so perfectly and everything that you don't have that much raw emotion anyway. So electric is cool, but I still prefer just a combustion engine because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's the way that it develops power. It just feels more raw and more
Mm-hmm.
with more emotions to me, which is also a big part of driving. You want to enjoy it, not just be fast, but you want to enjoy being fast. And I'm not saying you can't do that with electric, but it's just different. And obviously driving it itself is different because, as I said, throttle application, because you have all the torque instantly if you want it, which is a pro and a con.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on how good you can control your right foot. But yeah, it's just different. It's
Mm-hmm.
difficult to compare.
Yeah, to be honest, I can imagine that NASCAR going to go for eNASCAR one day because I just really enjoy when they go in on the ovals and with this engines, and like here's a 40
Yeah.
cars on track. It's great.
Yeah, and especially I think if you're going to watch motorsports as a fan,
Hmm.
like in the stands, part of why you're going is the sound. At least that's it for me. And I understand that cars don't have to be insanely loud like they used to be. But I think a certain level of volume and just you know, like that the air vibrates around you, that's for me part of motorsports kind of. And with electric, you don't have it, or like at least you can probably. It depends. Like I also saw, for example, a company that swapped like a E36, I think BMW E36 to
Hmm.
fully electric with straight cut gears. And a lot of sound was coming from the straight cut gearbox, but they also had electric motors that were built for motorsports, so not for
Hmm.
passenger cars, so they weren't quiet, but they actually made sound. And that was very interesting as well. And who knows, like if the development goes in that direction, then I can definitely see how electric sound can also be very, yeah, enjoyable and
Hmm.
passionate.
Yeah, all right. I think I agree with you. Like, we just have to accept that technology is going forward, and probably we're going to have some series with electric cars, some other series going to stay with like classic engines. So that's absolutely okay. I was really against electric cars maybe 5 years ago or so, but right now I see them on the streets, and it's really cool. One time I was in taxi, it was fully electric car, and it's really quiet. So as a passenger, you really enjoy that. Like no vibration, and you just like chilling and enjoy the journey. It's really cool.
Yeah. I just read in the chat and I see, like, I think your webcam is frozen, just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like definitely in passenger cars, it's a huge pro because it's just comfortable. You don't hear much, and you just, yeah, like I worked at a BMW dealership, so I had also a lot of new cars, like the new, I don't know, BMW i7, for example, which is an absolute spaceship. And it's just so comfortable because it's just quiet. You can drive for hours and hours, and it's just quiet which is obviously like for a passenger car a great thing. But for racing, I just I like the sound of race cars. So
yeah, me too. I agree with you in that. Can you tell me a bit more about the event which you did also in real life? There was a Formula woman. Yeah, so can you tell me a bit more about this?
Yeah, that was also a competition that I did this April, I believe. It was start of April. That was in the UK at Cadwell Park, which was very cool because it was exclusively for women. And the winner of the event got like a race seat in a Radical series in the UK. And yeah, it was a 3-day competition with also some very cool just talks that we attended, and like great people talking and like talking about the experience, but also how to, you know, not just drive, but also how to be healthy and how to, yeah, care for yourself on the off time when you're not racing and everything. So that was very informative. And then we obviously got on track, and we had, I think I went on track 3 times. And the last time was in a BMW M240 or something. Like not an M2, but like one of these, like slightly below. And yeah, that was great. It was really tricky conditions, so it was like drizzling on and off, and you know, perfect British weather, obviously. And Cadwell Park is an amazing track. I definitely recommend driving there on like a track day if you get the chance, because it's quite narrow, but it's also very 3-dimensional. So you have a lot of like ups and downs and everything, and it's just great fun, especially in the wet, because the car was constantly dancing, and you had to really like make sure not to overstep it and just push it, but not overstep it. And then apart from the driving, we also then had fitness assessments, we had media training, we had also some technological things where like brake bias setup stuff was discussed. And I got all the way into the finals. Actually, I also have like the little glass trophy I had here for being in the final. And yeah, also a great experience. Yeah, so definitely if they're gonna do another event, I'm definitely gonna take part in that as well. And yeah, it was, I think, around like 70 women or something, and I got into like the last 15. And yeah, I'm kind of proud of that one, and it was a great experience all around, because just being around like a full paddock of women who are into motorsports, it's just so cool, because you really don't have that usually. It's mostly guys, and like maybe there's one other girl, but oftentimes you're the only one. And yeah, it was just cool to have like all women around, and everyone was so supportive, and it was just a great atmosphere, and I can fully recommend that for any women out there.
Yeah, that sounds similar to W Series event. So I was a part in the selection event in January 2019. It was a really cool experience. So I didn't get, unfortunately, into the W Series because you know that was the first time when I was driving. So we've been in Austria on a small track, small racing track, and it was January with winter tires. We had Porsche Cayman GTS, and they give us some kind of, you know, drifting exercises, something like this. So it wasn't really good at this because I just you know, didn't have experience with like road cars on the racing track ever. So I drove only like karting and then open wheelers. So yeah, it was really hard for me. But the atmosphere and a lot of women on this event, it was great to see. Yeah, because they all really dedicated into what they're doing, and yeah, that was awesome. And that's kind of sad that W Series just like canceled and no longer having any racing seasons. But it was really fun, like 3 years for this series, and this selection event was great.
Yeah, I bet. Like the whole series was great. Yeah, I always obviously support women in motorsports, and that was just such a cool series to see, like just all women. But also with F1 Academy, that's also just like every time like cool to watch, because I don't know, it's just cool to see like women being represented that like majorly in motorsports as well these days, because for a long time I guess it just wasn't a thing. But that's starting to change a bit, and I'm very glad about that. And yeah.
Yeah, me too. I can notice that like more women working in motorsports also appear in sim racing, and it's a really cool thing to see. How do you feel overall to be a girl in sim racing? Do you maybe meet some toxic people here, or like community mostly welcome and friendly?
Yeah, it depends what kind of stuff you drive, definitely. So like on like road or formula stuff, I usually don't have issues. People are usually fine. Ovals is probably also fine, but like dirt ovals is oftentimes not that welcoming to women. I usually just turn off the voice chat, which is fine, you know. It's, I don't know, if it's their guys' like place, then sure, whatever. They can do whatever they want. I needed to do quite a few races for my A license there, and then I just yeah, I did hear some not so nice things, and like you do get these like occasionally, but I think at this stage it's oftentimes not that much of a problem. Like, yeah, as I said, like sometimes you get just toxic people, but I guess everyone gets it. And yeah, it's just easy to call out girls for being girls in cars. But I think overall, people are also happy to see women in sim racing, because yeah, it's, I don't know, it's just cool, and we're all on track to be fast. So, you know, it shouldn't matter what gender you are. So.
Yeah, that's true. I think that everybody equal, especially in sim racing, where you don't have like some physical maybe advantage from guys, compared to girls. Yeah. So it's great to see that we got more women into sim racing, and I noticed from my side that your community kind of welcome most of the time, and it's great. You can maybe have some toxic people in ovals sometimes. That's a C tracks for me, but you know, that's okay. You just turn off the chat, or just mute these drivers, and and then enjoy the race. Like, it's okay. It's
exactly. Don't let those people ruin your day.
Yeah,
it's not worth it. Like, who are they to tell you something?
That's
it's
true.
Like,
yeah.
If you believe in yourself, you can do it.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, I think. Yeah. So yeah, most of the community are really welcome, friendly, and they trying to help you. They trying to guide you for the sim racing, and it's really cool to have and to see as well. So I know that you are part of Olympus team. Can you give me more information about this? How is it for you to be the part of this team? You know, when Charles started Olympus Esports, there was a really small team, and right now just see a lot of drivers. I don't know them, and that's a huge team right now. It's pretty cool to be part of it, definitely.
Yeah, it's really cool how it evolved. So I joined the team in 2022, I believe, because I was getting my rig and I started to drive more again, because I hadn't been driving for like 2 or 3 years at that point. So, like when everyone during COVID started doing sim racing, I didn't. Like I just had other stuff to do, and I just didn't race a lot. And then I moved again, and finally got like a proper rig. And I didn't have to put my wheel away and on again all the time. So I could just always just hop in. It's just ready. And that made a huge change. And after a while, I then just felt the need of like, hey, I want to do endurance events. I want to be part of a team. I want to, you know, talk to people, be in a community or something. And then I went on the iRacing forums. And as luck would have it, I saw like an opening for Olympus, and I just texted and then joined them and everything. And the first race I did was actually the Majors 24 in 2022, I believe. Yeah. And since then, I've just always been with Olympus. Like currently, I don't do a lot of races because I have quite a bit of stuff to do with school. But yeah, I definitely want to do sim racing more, and definitely from December onwards, I should have more time again. So especially over the winter, I plan to do a lot of racing. Also officials, because I don't do a lot of officials. So I also want to boost my iRiding a lot there. But yeah, with Olympus, it's a great team. Like they're very welcoming, they're very, very helpful. We have a lot of great drivers at this point, and also like racing in a lot of great series. You know, it's a really, really cool team, and I appreciate it every time. I'm always very proud to, you know, wear the Olympus shirt and just, you know, it's just cool. It's a cool team, and they definitely deserve being in the big series.
Yeah, that's true. And also the most beautiful liveries we got in Olympus.
Oh yeah, especially the new liveries. I don't know how many of them are out yet, but the liveries for 2025 look amazing. Like they're
That's
so
true.
cool. I don't know how much you saw it. You probably saw it in Ivor or something.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, that's just such a cool livery.
Yeah, so moving to EVRA, I know you that you on the other side. So I'm as a driver in Porsche Cup for this season as well. We did last season with Olympus finish with a great result, P5, P6 for Porsche Cup in the Club Sports series. So can you tell me more about this experience which you got on the other side from the drivers? Yeah, as a racing steward.
Yeah, so like it's obviously a huge series, and the organizers, basically, to give like a short overview, were the same who did the 24 hours esports, like the official 24 hours esports series to the real life series. And then we obviously have the IVRA, so International Virtual Racing Association, and where you have like two classes and just the most skilled drivers, kind of like, I don't know if there's a ranking for like that, like best or like the highest iRiding series, but splits or like strengths of fields over 7K aren't uncommon. We have multiple people with over 10K in their like pro licenses, and then to be in race control of that and to analyze like incidents and to just being part of the whole, like creating the whole event around it and everything, and like working with the documents, working in the safety cars. It's just, number one, very cool, but it also gives you a very different insight into racing, where if you look at incidents, you learn a lot about where to place your car and where not to place your car, even as a driver. So that's another thing that helps me drive, for example, because I just spot like stuff that happens over and over and over again in kind of similar ways, which then helps you to avoid these situations when you drive yourself. But obviously, I've been with Ivor now for I think like 3 years or something, and it's grown more and more, especially since the 24 hours esports series has now been sadly cancelled because of the main sponsor dropping the series, which, you know, is it happens. But Ivor is still going very strong, and we now had, actually for the qualifying, we had to limit people to have one car per team because we just didn't have the manpower to steward more than 2 splits simultaneously. And we have now a very, very competitive field. It was insanely tough to get into some of these classes. So anyone who made it in, like, you did amazing, because sometimes it was really, if you had one incident, then basically you're out. It was really that tough, and in a field that's that like well contended, I guess, it's really great to always like see them drive, and the driving standards have improved so much over the past few years, even that we have, I don't know, 8-hour races with, like, if you don't count like the safety car incidents or like pit lane incidents or something, then you have like over 8 hours with 55 cars, you have like 30 incidents, which is insane. It's such a cool racing experience just to watch it. And there are also streams, so anyone who watches and is interested, please watch the streams on YouTube on RaceSpot TV. And yeah, it's very cool to see a race from the other side and being part of the one who has to decide about stuff. Also, like, some decisions are very difficult. Some incidents are very tricky, and maybe to the outside, sometimes they seem very easy and obvious. But if you have all the data that we have, and if you have usually 3 different stewards looking at one incident and then having to come to a conclusion, it's not always that easy, because oftentimes there are so many different variables that go into it that it's difficult to really. Also, we have to adhere to our own rules. We have like a huge rule set where all the different overtakings are clarified, which is what is okay, what is not okay, how should you filter in the pit lane, what to do behind a safety car. We have a whole flow chart for that, and it's kind of complicated sometimes, and that's also why it takes safety car a couple minutes sometimes. But we're trying to be as quick as possible and just giving everyone who takes part in the series the best racing experience possible, because we want to make it a really professional league and a very, just the best league that we can make it. And I think we're at a pretty good spot at this point.
Yeah, true. I absolutely, I could have a lot of complaints about Ivory, about like some 5 seconds penalties or something like this. But I think that's okay. So if you got like really strict rules, so everybody just going to behave in better way as a result. And to be honest, I would love to see for the next season, maybe if Ivory will have an opportunity to have two full splits running at the same time, because it was kind of sad to not see that someone not get into this area of the club sport, for example, or endurance, because just Ivory growing so fast and a lot of drivers get into this. And I fully understand that you don't have a lot of spots yet because you're limited with people who's working in Ivory. But for the upcoming years, it will be great to see like a few splits running, fighting for the championship. It will be great to like give everybody opportunity to take part in this absolutely amazing league in our racing. So in my opinion, that's one of the best league where I took a part as a driver. So I really enjoy when we got like club sport, and especially the opportunity that you can have 4-hour races with a Porsche Cup. It's great.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for like that feedback, and I'll definitely talk to the people, but I don't think that we can just simply with manpower. I don't think we can do 2 splits. Also, like with just adding new series or something to have like a 3rd league, for example. Again, it's just we all do this in our spare time. Like, we don't get paid to be stewarding. We do it because we have the passion for motorsports, and most of like the entry fees that we have goes to like creating sessions and to the broadcasting and here and there and everything. And I think I can speak for all of the stewards that we don't expect to get paid. It's just a huge amount of time that we have to spend in this, because for you as a driver, and I don't want to downplay anything here, but you have like the qualifying or like the practice, and then the driver's briefing, the qualifying, and then the race. Let's say it's an 8-hour race. So you as a driver have probably like 10 hours kind of in the session. But as race control, we need to prepare like, I don't know, 1 or 2 hours like with practice, and then usually incidents get reviewed after the incident, after the race as well. So for us, it's probably like 2 or 3 hours more. And then if we have like the long races, like we had like a 12-hour race or something, we have one guy that's pretty much always just looking at the pit lane. And for the 12-hour races, he was looking at the pit lane camera for 15 hours straight. That was his job. So, yeah, with how complex the rules are and everything, I don't know if we can do a second split. I would love to, because also for us as race controllers, it's very sad to not see some of the teams that we had over the past few years make it into this year's selection, because we also had, as I said, like the 24-hour series was cancelled, but we had a lot of these spots, that invites that were still left over from that series, which we then converted to like those 2 leagues that also had their own invites. So for some of the classes, it was just like not a lot of spots left. And with, as I said, SOFs of like 7K not being uncommon, it was really tough to just get in. Obviously, I would love to have more people, like more teams racing, but we'll see. I'll definitely tell the people, but I can't really say that like that's gonna happen soon, sadly.
Yeah, but we all just hoping that they're very going to get even bigger and stronger for the years, and maybe in the future we'll see more splits and more teams into this awesome league.
Also, maybe to add to this one, if you want to be part of race control and stewarding and get into that, we're always looking for people. So, anyone who's interested can just like text Casper Record, for example, or also just me, and I can forward it, or join the IVRA server and get in contact there, because we're always looking for people. And you don't have to be 8K yourself to be able to steward. If you're like a decent driver or just know somewhat what a racing line is, then it's something that you can definitely learn. And yeah, we're always looking for people, which then obviously would make it a bit more, maybe create more opportunities for either different types of leagues or more splits or anything like that.
You mentioned that reviewing the incidents definitely help you with your own racecraft and how you handle situations on track. What other advices can you give to people who are planning to get into sim racing?
About the driving itself, or getting into the racing first?
Yeah, about driving and about getting to races. Maybe like you have to review incidents or something like this.
Yeah, I think it's a very personal journey depending on where you start out. But as like a general thing, I think the first thing you need to learn is to keep the car on track. Just, finishing races without incidents, even if that means you have to give up some time. That in the beginning, that really doesn't matter. And stop what like Need for Speed and everything teaches you, that you always have to win. You're not going to win always. That's, and that's, you can have fun even in like fighting for some of the last positions. It just depends on like where you are on track, and if you can keep it stable on track, that's like the biggest thing. And after that comes like pace, kind of just there are like, it's a very personal thing. Learn how to brake, learn how to turn, and then after that, at some point you can start adjusting setups. But setups should really be like one of the last steps, because, for example, me, like in Formula 4, I usually drive the official setup because it's, they're good enough to be quick, and I'm at this point always driving top split, and I'm usually in the top 5. So, and that's just with the iRacing setups. And I know that Formula 4 isn't like the most competitive, but there are some pretty quick people in there, and me being close to them is already like a great reward for all the practice I've spent.
Yeah, so
and maybe for getting into sim racing in the first place, don't worry too much about gear. The more important thing is kind of to just get started and just try it out, see if it's for you, and also what kind of racing is for you. Maybe you just want to do some street drifting, or maybe you want to do on-track racing or ovals, or I don't know, off-road tracks. They're all very different, and there are different games that do different things just better than others, and just kind of find what you like, and from there it's a more like a natural progression, in my opinion.
Absolutely agree with you, especially with the thing about equipment, because some people just getting crazy about equipment, that they need the best stuff. I always tell people that you can start with whatever you got. You got the wheel and pedals, you can jump into like iRacing with it, and just to have fun and earn some experience, build your skills, and just be the part of the community and have fun. That's the main thing, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And also, if you're just starting out, a direct drive and active pedals will not make you faster. They just won't. You need to build your racecraft first to really benefit from the advantages that these kind of systems can bring.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. And before we end the stream, I want to know what's your goals for the future? What are you planning to do in the future?
Well, that's a very open-ended question. Obviously, as I mentioned before, I have very real aspirations to do more real-life races. Like, I've set myself like the big goal of at someday being a driver in the 24 hours of Nordschleife, which is that is like my absolute like dream race that I want to be part in at some point. And for example, like recently I've applied for another driver selection in a GT4 class. I don't know yet if I get selected, and even if I then get selected for the driver selection, I have to like kind of win it to get the spot. But I really, really hope that works out, and that I can go there and just drive a GT4 car, because it's like I just love racing, and I hope that works out. Apart from that, also maybe then just start the RCN races at the Nordschleife, like the smaller ones that you have to build up to at some point being able, like having the licenses to drive in a 24-hour race. But also, apart from real racing, sim racing, I want to improve my iRating. As I said, I don't really drive any officials, but I really should, at least somewhat. Last time, I think I drove and I had like in 3 evenings or something gained 700 iRating. So my iRating is really not where it should be, and I would kind of like to have it more like where I want it. So also just to I don't know, it's kind of cool if your iRating is a bit higher, not gonna lie. But I don't know, I kind of want to go back into ovals. I don't know how much time I'll have for that. That's definitely a secondary goal. And I don't know. Apart from that, do the races with the dream team, obviously. Can't wait for those to happen. And also, like always, like behind the scenes, there are always like, I've talked to a lot of people here and there, and there are some opportunities that might open up, some that maybe don't, but you give it a shot. And that's what you need to do if you want to, you just apply for different things. Some work out, some don't. And I really want to make racing more of my career. I would also love to start streaming. Sadly, currently my PC doesn't really support racing and streaming at the same time. It's just it's pushing 10 years, so it's I need a new PC at some point. But since I'm still in education, or again in education currently, I don't have that much money to spend on new hardware. So but that's definitely also a big thing that I want to improve in the sim racing front.
So I wish you good luck in real life experience and in streaming as well. I would love to see your streams in the future. I hope you're going to get the PC and everything setting up. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for talking with us. You're amazing, and wish you good luck for your life and for racing as well.
Same to you, by the way. Whatever your goals might be, I hope you achieve them.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time on Thursday with more INIT Talks. Bye.
INIT Esports focuses on sim racing events and digital tournaments. They bring esports content to fans and sponsorship opportunities to brands while maximizing audience reach across multiple sports, industries, and platforms. INIT Esports is a woman led company where diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility is in their DNA. And their platform aims to combat bullying and cheating to help make the esports world as safe and fair as possible. To learn more, be sure to log on to www.initesports.gg or follow them on social media at INIT Esports. Join their Discord, check out their YouTube channel, or follow their live content via Twitch.
This episode has been brought to you by Grand Touring Motorsports as part of our Motoring Podcast Network. For more episodes like this, tune in each week for more exciting and educational content from organizations like the Exotic Car Marketplace, the Motoring Historian, Break Fix, and many others. If you'd like to support Grand Touring Motorsports and the Motoring Podcast Network, sign up for one of our many sponsorship tiers at www.patreon.com/GT Motorsports. Please note that the content, opinions, and materials presented and expressed in this episode are those of its creator, and this episode has been published with their consent. If you have any inquiries about this program, please contact the creators of this episode via email or social media as mentioned in the episode.